The Art of Examinations Business Studies, a guide to passing examinations in all levels in high school by Madenge Edward Kariuki. Terms used. 1. Circumstances. This is a factor, a condition, or an event connected with or relevant to an event or action. It is a condition to be met. When answering circumstance questions, they attract terms like when, where, if, and in case. So the circumstance must be clear and should be qualified with specific words. Question number 1. Outline 5 circumstances under which a country with well-endowed natural resources may not benefit from them. 1. Where the resources' existence is not known, or where location is not known, or ignorance of the existence of the resources. 2. When exploitation of the resources has not started. 3. If there is political instability. 4. Where a country lacks adequate finances or capital for exploitation. 5. In case modern technology to exploit is lacking, or when a country has poor technology. 6. Where there is corruption in exploitation or there is lack of transparency. 7. If there is lack of relevant skills and knowledge to utilize the resources. And 8. Where there is lack of political goodwill or in case of poor governance. Question number 2. Outline 5 circumstances under which hire purchase may be used to acquire goods. 1. When the buyer does not have enough money to pay at once. 2. When the product is very expensive. 3. If the buyer wants to use the product immediately before completing paying. 4. Where the buyer is a salaried employee or has regular income. 5. In case the buyer desires to own luxurious goods. 6. When the seller does not need money urgently. 7. Where the seller wants to have local customers. And 8. When the seller wants to make maximum profits. Question number 3. Outline 5 circumstances under which wholesalers are vital in the chain of distribution. 1. Where the market is spread out for the product to reach the customers. 2. Where the producer does not have adequate capital to set up own distribution points. 3. If there is government policy which separates the functions of wholesaling from production activities. 4. Where the producer requires finances which can be provided by the wholesaler. 5. When the producer lacks transport facilities which can be provided by the wholesaler. And 6. In case it becomes difficult to manage producers' distribution outlets. Term number 2. Reasons. This is a cause, explanation, or justification for an action or event. It is the why of something. The terms to use are 8, because, since. These are the best terms to use when answering reason questions. Question number 1. Outline 5 reasons for continued use of human pottery despite the advancement in transport technology. 1. Because human pottery is cheap or economical to use, or it is cost effective. 2. Since it is highly flexible in terms of routes and time charges. 3. Because it complements other means. 4. It has no delays since they do not operate on schedule. 5. Since it is readily available or an available service. 6. Because it is suitable for short distance travel. And 7. Since it can penetrate narrow areas or inside buildings. Question number 2. Give 2 reasons why a 3-column cash book is used both as a journal and as a ledger. 1. Both discount allowed and discount received columns are recorded without balancing them off, and that gives totals to discount allowed, discount received ledger accounts. So that acts as a journal. And 2, the cash and bank columns on the DR and CR sides of the 3-column cash book acts as ledgers since they are balanced to determine the balance carried down and balance brought down. Question number 3. Highlight 4 reasons why an individual would prefer to buy goods through installment buying rather than buy through hire purchase terms. 1. It is applicable to both durable and non-durable goods. 2. Because no interest is charged on the market price. 3. Since the buyer can sell the goods to that party without completing payment or breaking the contract terms. 4. Since the seller cannot repossess the goods unless with long legal action. And 5. Because it is not mandatory to pay principal amount as in hire purchase. Question number 4. Explain 5 reasons why effective filing system is important in an office. 1. Because it helps maintain tidiness in an office as documents are neatly arranged. 2. Because there is quick access to information or retrieval of information is made easy. 3. It ensures safety of information from damage by bad weather. 4. Since it saves on storage space as documents are kept compactly. 5. Since there is security of information against loss due to theft. And 6. Because it makes internal operations or communications smooth. Number 3. Influence, affect, or determine. This is the capacity to have an effect on character development or behavior of someone or something, or the effect itself. It is to make a difference, to shape, or contribute to. Influence can be positive or negative. Question number 1. State the external factors that may positively influence the operations of a business. 1. Healthy competition. 2. Use of appropriate technology or modern or advanced technology. 3. Stable political environment. 4. Stable economic environment. 5. Favorable legal framework or government policy like low taxation, increased subsidies, high quotas, etc. 6. Reliable and stable and constant supply systems. 7. Organized buyers and sellers. 8. High population or availability of wide market. 9. Adequate security. 10. Favorable sociocultural environment. 11. Supportive shareholders. And 12. Good or appropriate physical infrastructure. Question number 2. Highlight 5 factors that may negatively affect economic development in a country. 1. Lack of comprehensive development plan or absence of planning committee. 2. Lack of political goodwill. 3. Poor resource endowment. 4. Wars, instability, or political upheavals. 5. Poor resource allocation. 6. Poor or unfavorable balance of payments and balance of trade. 7. Poor or inadequate infrastructure. 8. Use of poor or obsolete technology in production. Question number 3. Outline 5 factors that may determine the success of a business. 1. Comprehensive business plan or planning. 2. Adequate finance, capital, or resources. 3. Motivated and skilled labor. 4. Use of advanced or superior technology or production methods. 5. Compliance with relevant government regulations or laws. 6. Non-interference by politicians in the business. 7. Proper managerial or leadership skills. 8. Superior marketing strategies or methods. 9. Elimination of wastage of time, finance, and resources. And 10. Suitable location of the business. You have other related questions like state 4 factors that may affect the level of national income in a country. 2. Highlight 4 factors that may influence a consumer to purchase products from a kiosk rather than from a supermarket. And 3. State 5 ways in which the nature of goods will determine the choice of the means of transport. Term number 4, impact. This is a marked effect or influence. To have a strong effect on someone or something, it is good to give reasons as you give answers. Question number 1. Explain the negative impact of government involvement or interference in business activities. 1. Price control would result into businesses making low profits, hence collapsing or having stunted growth of the business. 2. High taxation will discourage investors and will reduce profitability of businesses, hence they would collapse. 3. Lack of reduced subsidies would increase the cost of production, hence high prices and low demand. 4. Lack of regulations would result to unfair business practices or competition, throwing some businesses off trade. 5. Lack of training would result into poor management or poor business skills, hence poor business performance. 6. Establishment of government businesses will lead to closure of private businesses due to stiff or unfair competition. And 7. Lack of standards would flood the market with cheap or substandard products, hence citizens suffer and avoid some businesses or products. Question number 2. Highlight the impact of reducing the price of commodities to a country's economy. 1. Demand for products would rise since most citizens would afford the products. 2. Supply of products would reduce and fall due to a non-recovery of cost of production. 3. The government would collect more taxes from goods whose demand rises. 4. The government would collect less tax from goods whose supply would fall. 5. Competition would shift to other factors away from the price, or less price wars would ensue. 6. Closure of some industries that sell high-priced commodities. And 7. Opening of industries that can afford to manufacture low-priced commodities. Term number 5. Effects, consequences, results, or outcomes. This is a result of a particular influence. These are outcomes or results obtained or expected by an activity, issue, or idea. Question number 1. Highlight 5 negative consequences of unemployment in a country. 1. High levels of stress due to struggle for survival. 2. High dependency ratios as the working class must support the unemployed. 3. Poor or low living standards due to lack of money. 4. Loss of confidence in education as it is not rewarded through ready jobs or employment. 5. Increased crime rates in order to earn a living. 6. Lack of job security as workers are easily replaced or there is excess labor supply. 7. Reduced market or demand for goods and services in the economy due to low purchasing power. 8. Low investment or savings as a result of low income. And 9. Increased government expenditure in order to control crimes and improve living standards. Question number 2. Give 4 positive effects of mild or creeping inflation in the economy. 1. Borrowers end up paying less in real terms. 2. Improved investment climate and helps to maintain aggregate demand. 3 may have some motivating effect to workers as people try to cope with the effects of inflation by working harder to maintain their standards of living. And 4, they stimulates production and causes an increase in employment and output. Question number 3. The table below shows population trend of country X over a period of 4 years. The year 2008, population 56,900,000. 2009, 56,200,000. 2010, 55,100,000. 2011, 54,400,000. This trend is going down. Assuming that the country had an optimum population at the end of the year 2008, describe or explain 5 possible effects of the population trend on the country's economy. 1. The country's resources cannot fully be utilized due to lack of sufficient labor. 2. The provision of basic infrastructure like roads, hospitals, water, etc. becomes uneconomical due to high cost per head involved. 3. A declining population may lead to a fall in aggregate demand, which leads to smaller market. This would then reduce the level of investments in a country. 4. A declining population may lead to less pressure on land and other resources. 5. There may be a fall in dependency ratio, holding other factors constant. And 6. Increase in per capita income, holding other factors constant. Thank you.